Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for calling the order. Those of those that wish to come in, now is a good time to do so. And could you please stand for the national, for the territorial song?
We thank you, O God, for the gift of life. We thank you, O God, for this beautiful land. We thank you, O God, for the peoples of this land. And we thank you, O God, for our leadership. We thank you, O Lord our God, that we can come together as a people seeking your face. Seeking your face, O God. Seeking your direction for this, our country. Seeking your help, your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding, and your divine protection. You have brought us through the years, O God. And tonight we come, knowing that with confidence, faith, hope, love in our hearts, we can move forward to build under your banner a healthy, a vibrant, a prosperous, mighty God, where good success will fill the lives of every person here tonight. We ask that these proceedings receive, O God, your blessing and your approval, and we place it all into your hands. In Jesus' name, amen and amen.
Thank you, Ms. Dawson. Can those on the outside hear me? Let me hear you. Can those on the outside hear me? Thank you. Let me start by welcoming everybody to this event tonight. For those who don't know, my name is Austin Howe, and I've been serving as the chair for the United Alliance Party. I know some of you may have questions and queries, but as the night go on, you'll understand why I had no choice but to make this decision to become part of the United Alliance. Tonight, my friend Pete Wardevere also will assist me, and we will tell you why you cannot vote for anything else. The candidates on the table will tell you why you should vote for them and why they think they're the best options for Montserrat. So if you find Keith and myself digressing, forgive us. We are not politicians. We're just here to tell you why we cannot vote for any other grouping. So let me start tonight. My purpose for being here is because I found it very difficult to work with a government that was missing in action for 4 years. I say this again, I found it very difficult to work with a government who went missing in action for 4 years. The net result of that is they became a void. And a lot of persons blamed a certain lady for overreaching. But I'll say this, if you leave a void, someone will step in and fill it. And what happened over the past 4 years is that every time there was an issue, and I'll start with the first one, have you noticed that every time something goes wrong, the Premier makes a joint statement with the governor? My question is this, did you vote for the governor? No. Was the governor voted for as many people wanted? No, we voted for a leader to lead us. If you vacate your position and you turn your job over to someone else, then you don't deserve to have that job. I just do not understand. If he back hockey, he makes a statement with the governor. If he goes hunting and he comes back, he doesn't report to us. He makes a joint statement with the governor. We voted for a leader to represent us. And if you fail to represent us, I think we have no choice but to move your side. So that is my main purpose why I decided I could not continue, because we voted for a government to represent us. Tonight I'm going to start at the head of the table and I'll introduce Ms. Marjorie Smith. And tonight most of the candidates will speak to you about our manifesto items. What the United Alliance believes it can do to make the lives of the people of Montserrat better. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ms. Marjorie Smith.
I'm very pleased to be here. Now, my name is Marjorie Smith, and I will start off by telling you something that the chairman didn't tell you, or perhaps he just didn't know. I grew up in a large family. I'm the last of 13 children to my mother and father, and the last of 17 to my father. So, growing up in such a large family, we would have faced struggles. We endured hardships, we missed out on opportunities, and that is one of the reasons why I have chosen to speak on the topic of education, because I do not think that we should allow our young people to face those things. So I will speak on the plans for the short term, the medium term, and the longer term. In the short term, the first year, we plan to reintroduce technical and vocational education into the college. With the loss of the technical college in 1997, we would have lost many of our training programs to include areas like carpentry, masonry, plumbing, office arts, you name it. And because we know of the importance of these things, we will seek to reintroduce them so that our island would come back up to the level and fill that gap that has been widening over the years. And because we understand the importance of education and how much education can contribute to our economic stability, we will offer free education for all students from the nursery level right up to the college level. Free education will be offered. So those are the two things within the first year that we will accomplish. In the medium term, we will establish a national scholarship program. And this is not to be confused with the program offered by HRMU. It's a program that will come through the Ministry of Education. This is a guarantee that at least one student every year will receive a scholarship that would go to the top student coming out of the secondary school once they are interested in pursuing higher learning. Secondly, COVID has taught us that being physically present in the classroom is not the only way to deliver teaching. And so, whether a teacher is in the farthest part of the island or wherever, they would be in a position to still offer training to the students through technology. So that we know would require upgrading the classrooms to facilitate this level of teaching, and that we are committed to doing. Another area of interest and very important to us is the support for students with learning disabilities, or as we would say, special needs students. We in the United Alliance, we are all about equal opportunities. We would not subscribe to any form of discrimination. And too often, we realize that students are referred to as disruptive or rude or out of control. We understand and we accept that all students will have some sort of difference in their learning ability. And so we will seek to end this way of thinking and operating. I dare say that work has already begun, although we are not yet in office. Work has begun to get persons trained, to bring them up to the level to help these sort of students. And our intention is to get them into mainstream education as far as possible. And this support will also be extended to parents, because they too have to care for those children. So those are the things that we will do in the medium term. And in the long term, we will undertake a strategic review of the college to ensure that it meets changing needs of our population. So as time progresses, we will explore different ways to improve on areas that are not working well, or well somewhat, but they could be improved upon. And so we will seek to bring them in line with global trends, provided, of course, that they correspond with our needs locally. So, to sum up, we cannot afford any longer for our children and young people to be failed by us. This is why the United Alliance is focused on creating a learning environment to prepare our young people for the world ahead so that they can make meaningful contributions and make a better way of life for themselves. And that those some of the areas that we plan to accomplish within the time period. This is beyond 5 years and beyond. And now I would just like to say that I used to play cricket, but I never an opener. I used to come down the order. So I am hoping that my brief presentation has sort of set the tone for beginning, and that when the night is over and my colleagues would have presented, that you would have been convinced and realized that there would be no other choice but to vote for the United Alliance team with a resounding victory come election day.
Leadership matters. I said leadership matters. And in my house, I am the alpha. And I am not following nobody less than me. You understand? And in this country, we need an alpha to follow. And that is why we brought back this man. Because when it comes to politics, he is the alpha. And I'm a wolf. I follow a leader. No. Or beer? No, beer in a hunting pack. Wolf hunting pack. And you're the alpha, we follow you. Now, we all know the Constitution gave the governor certain power. We're not going to argue with that. And we're not going to get into war with the governor. She has her power. But the Constitution said, make, shall, consult. And when you come and you just uproot the police force, bam! Go home, go home, go home, go home. Some of them have markets paying. Their pension might not be enough to cover their children in college. You know what I'm saying? And no questions asked. Go home. And then you bring in people older than who you send home. And our premier said, give me money, all right, you like me. How could we do that? We can't allow that to happen. So that is why we need a leader who's going to come and say, listen, this is what the Constitution said, and if you're not going to abide by it, we're going to go over your head and deal with the matter. We're not going to fight it up. We're just going to go to the higher authority to get things done. Correct? Now, let me introduce our next speaker. You know him, and this is the United Alliance. As you can notice, we have people from our kind of party up here. PDM, PLM, NDP, and CAP. How we go? You notice? United. Alright? This man ran with the PDM before, and he left because he didn't leave because he wanted to join Mr. Meade. He left because of lack of leadership. And he was running in the wilderness until he put up on leadership and he said, I'm ready to go. His name is Mr. Reuben Hickson. And you all know he was a businessman and you know it. We're going to come to talk about tourism and our plans for tourism. Short presentation to deal with tourism. Give him a round of applause again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to see all of you out in the numbers. For the 19 persons who called me and said that they still wanted to come, trust me, there's transportation on the way for you. Tonight, I realize that, and you all realize that leadership matters. It doesn't matter who you speak to, you're hearing the same cry. Leadership matters.
That is true.
One of the first requisites of leadership, especially political leadership, is that you must love people. You must love people not only by words, but by your actions. The good thing about United Alliance is that we can identify with the struggles of you, the people, and we are pledging to make it better. United Alliance would create that economic climate and the mindset to grow this economy. And if you realize for the last, I want to say 10 years, that much has not been happening. And we can see it every day, and it always getting worse and worse. And hence, I'm proud to say, the United Alliance will make that difference. A good friend of mine said to me, and I'll quote, "Dare to dream, but always determined to do. Sometimes dreamers don't have the requirement of having to govern, but those who govern can have the ability to dream and also to make decisions." My friends, this election is about whose leadership you can trust. It is this team, you can see them there, all beautiful smiles, that is competent to redeem and redevelop Montserrat. The United Alliance believes in a future where people in need are protected, where real jobs, whether be in the construction side, the hospitality, tourism hospitality side, are created. And of course, where our economy is actually growing. Montserrat cannot, and I repeat, Montserrat cannot afford to go backwards. Now is not the time to really choose lazy leadership. There's too much at stake. This government in waiting understands that tourism needs a serious injection of funds. And we know that it's only during the months of the festival months, the months of December and March, that the locals really make money. Well, what happened to the other months? And that's why the United Alliance is going to develop the other festivals. And in developing the other festivals, we know that there must be an injection of funds. But we understand. We are not in government at the moment, but we have hit the ground running. We have all the people on board in different disciplines doing various tasks. The tourism sector, in my vision, would become the largest employer of, other than outside the government, because we know that the government at this moment employs the largest number of persons. We will identify a potential boutique hotel developers, and that then would tie into, because now there's a golf course that has been established, and we will be working around the clock. I hate to praise myself, but I am developing the golf course. We will be working around the clock, promoting residential tourism, whether for its new build or renovations. And I know for a fact that a lot more needs to go into renovations, because sometimes it takes 2, maybe 3 years to build a house, depends on what you really want. Whereas you can go in, you can purchase, you can develop a property, and within 6 to 9 months, it can be ready for the market for Airbnb, for short-term, or for long-term rentals. And Montserrat is really lacking at the moment short-term and long-term rentals. Jobs in construction will be created. Jobs also in the hospitality sector would be created. The plumbers, the electricians, the taximen, the gardeners, the poolmen, these are all people who will be put to work. We're not going to forget the people who are already in the hospitality sector. You will be given tax incentives as we need to increase the number of beds that are available for rent. As I say, whether it be long-term, short-term, and short-term, there are some people that comes to work for the government and they need places for 3 years, some 2 years. So that is, for us, is long-term. This is why the United Alliance has engaged technicians, because we understand that we need to invest heavily in agriculture, because the agricultural sector ties into tourism, and so does environment. We will be coming. One of the main things as I say, in the tourism sector is that we need to improve on our crops, our livestock, and even the fishes, because we have to understand that the tourist comes to Montserrat, and we want to be able not only on a Friday to say that you have go water. We want to be able to make go water at least 4 or 5 times during the week, not only on a Friday. So, the livestock farmers, we have something in store for you. One of the main ongoing projects to be finished is the Little Bay Port. We, the United Alliance, will be putting an extra effort into finishing the port, because we understand that, or we understand what continuity means for this island, especially at this juncture. We will be putting extra effort into the yachters by marketing Montserrat as a yachting destination, and it is quite important. We see the cruise ships come out there, and we think, yes, there's a lot of people on board, they come ashore, but how much money they really spend. It's the yachters. They come ashore, and for sure they spend much more. Mooring buoys will be established at the Little Bay area, at Old Roads Bay, at Fox, even down as far as Fox's Bay. And I said Fox's Bay because we have a vision. For too long, it's been more than 20 odd plus years, and we've been fighting for places on the north side. The only thing that is preventing a lot of things from happening on the southern side is the crossing, the bridge down at Bellevue. And it's in the plan that the Bellevue Bridge would be fixed. Fixing the Bellevue Bridge would only reopen a lot of places in the Cork Hill, Fox's Bay areas, and I could go and say Richmond Hill, but I will stick to the Fox's Bay area. Because, as I said, we understand that the cruise ships, they provide all the amenities on board for their passengers. But the yachters, they come ashore, and of of course, they spend much more money. So our long-term goal really is to facilitate the development of a yacht marina. And where is the easiest place to put a yacht marina? Fox's Bay. There's already plans in works. So we are saying to you, vote United Alliance. This, we understand that tourism is everybody's business. It's your business, it's my business. Tourism is everybody's business. Let's get on board. I thank you.
Thank you. This party is about promoting ideas. It's not about people, it's about ideas. But you must forgive me. What are the qualifications of a politician? I tell you what, you have to like people. If you want to be a politician, you have to like people. The reason I raise this is that there's a certain young politician who came out of a business place. There were 20 persons sitting there. She passed her as a hello to nobody. Then she argues, you don't have to like people to vote for them. I said, yes, you're right. But you, the politician, must like people if you want them to vote for you. That is the difference. They have persons in this country who are sitting in political office, and they walk into the office and pass people at the door and don't say hello. You walk into the business place and they pass you and don't say hello. Let me tell you something, people. One of the qualifications of a good politician is that you must love people. How will you know what people's problems are if you don't talk to them? How will you know what people are grieving about if you don't talk to them? So anybody who walks around this country telling you they want to be a politician, they go past 20 people. First step in politics, and they go past 20 people and don't even say good afternoon. Understand that? No, I'm just saying to you, but these are the people putting themselves up for office. As I said to you before, we will tell you why not to vote for them. They will tell you why you should vote for them. The next speaker is a friend of mine. We grow up as neighbors, and when we get old, we still become neighbors. We used to serve in the same party, and she never joined me in this party. So we still have an affinity for each other. Ladies and gentlemen, this is someone who I have a tremendous amount of respect for. Put your hands together and welcome.
The honor, the privilege, and the pleasure is mine to be here with you, my people who are present, and those who are joining us via the web. When this Austin here, I don't know what friend it is, I want to be carefully because nobody carried a friend into bondage. But I am pleased tonight to say that I am here. My leaders never stop by mine. Leadership matters.
Yes, it does.
Leadership matters.
Yes.
I did not vote, nor did I elect to walk the streets, the highways, and the byways of Montserrat with any other woman besides Mrs. Roslyn Seeley Castle and the women of Montserrat. I did not agree for anyone to take my people back into colonization. And so I did not jump in the ship. I walked off the ship because the ship I come to harbor is time to change the crew, it's time to change the captain. As I said before, and you know I have my evidence. See the yellow? This was the speech I gave at our convention for us to make life better. for the people. No, I'm keeping it because I will honor every word. Because when I left the MCAP government, I did not leave the people. I am still here with my people to serve all the Nigerians. And I want to reiterate from this very statement that the vision is clear and the mission, you read it for yourself, is achievable right here in this manifesto. It's a little book, but it's a powerful book. My brothers and sisters, we have a country to build and a nation to mold. The time is now. I have come to say to you that we are ready. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. I am ready, and they are ready. Yes. Our leader, you know,
the best.
The best. Before you start building, you must lay a foundation. It was this man, the Honorable Reuben Meade, who laid that foundation for us. All our national identity started under his leadership. Look around. There was money in your pockets. And now we are saying cost of living is too high. We can't make ends meet. We can't make the dollar stretch. And so we are fully aware, as a community, the cost of living is too high. And we are going to address it right here in our manifesto. We will speak with the Customs and Revenue Department to reduce the cost of basic goods. We're not waiting. We're starting the discussion, because even when we do that, our treasury will not suffer. But you can aspire, lead a better quality of life. Because one thing I know is that you aspire for better education, better quality, to pay your bills, and not wondering where the next money will come from. Not no more hand to mouth. We will also see to it that the consumer prices on basic goods are suitably lower. And we will ensure, we are committed to ensuring that the cost of living will come down. One thing about Caribbean people, we love our house and land. And so we are committed to give you as a community affordable housing, will be accessible to residents and also to those wishing to return home, because we want our people to come home. You have heard about the jobs. We are going to regenerate our communities, such as Salem. We're going to improve so that you can find housing, affordable housing. There are too many abandoned houses lying around, and that is going to create work. And so once you have money in your hand, cost of living must go down.
You scoring runs.
Listen.
Home run.
We are a transgenerational government. Youth, the elderly, and the in-between, all looking at quality. Because you might wonder how come to just different. Well, I can't do what I like in this house. So I got permission from the leader to put on a jacket. He said we're not having no funeral service, so they can't wear what she like. But also to show how we voted, big and broad, united alliance. Because we are going to make the difference. Yes, because we're going to make sure that our elderly can utilize all the community centers in the areas for day centers. We can't leave them at home languishing. We must look after our elderly. And in the evenings, we are backing Sister March, because we are going to have homework programs and after club to assist our children and you, the parents, to move forward. Because while they're here, you can take a second job or you can educate yourself further. That is the plan for our community. And we're not leaving anyone behind. Our non-speaking English brothers and sisters, you two are included. English classes, so that we have a more inclusive society, a more equitable society. We look again in our mission. It tells us love, respect, empathy, equity, and self-reliance. Together, we are going to build this nation. It's not just about work. As a community, you deserve the best. Decent wages and conditions of service. You must not go into any building and rats on you and cockroach on you. That cannot work. We will work with the unions to ensure that your condition of work and your pay is correct. But you are going to give nothing but excellent service to build this country, because private sector must advance and public sector advance. We have a strong community, a human community. Not you have people working in your place and you're not doing anything to help them. All of that done. Yes. My brothers and sisters, once you have a firm foundation, we can move on. We need to ensure that we have in this country a reliable energy support. And so we are going to not throw away much of utility services, but we are going to provide for you reliable electricity supply while we continue to advance the comprehensive strategy for green energy. Yes, we are going to be advancing the thrust for green energy. Government is continuous, so we're going to be green and thriving. Solar, wind, and geothermal. We are going to be focused in what we can do. Now, I know we have a sore point, but I can tell you, they can put what they want to put in the archives. They can take out the information out of my head. We are going to provide for you sustainable, safe, affordable, reliable access service, both sea and by air. Country. Our children will be able to use the sea because they already said to me, Mrs. Hector, Mommy wants to carry us for the holiday to the family. We can't afford the airfares. Mrs. Hector, we want to see other educational institutions. Sea is good. And not, I told him already, I am not into the port that they're trying to bake. 1 minute you're having flour, then you add baking powder. No. We are going to, with the expertise that we have, ensure that you have a port of integrity and not a half kind of a breakwater either. Because neither you nor our family and friends from afar must travel and see Montserrat and turn back. When you leave to come home, is home you're coming. When you decide to go to Antigua, it's Antigua you're going. But when you're coming home, it's home you're coming. And so you can have a commitment that we will continue to push for you to have safe and reliable access. It is a public good. It is a public good. And it is a lifeline service. That is what it is described as in all of the reports that I have read. And so it is integral for our economic sustainability, our social sustainability, and if we are going to advance. We cannot forget our local roads. That is access as well. And so we will work to ensure that the main roads, the side roads, and remember, some of you still do not have access to your homes. We will work at that as well. Connectivity also involves when you make a phone call and the phone call drop off and you can't hear. For us to have a modern, strong economy, it is necessary that our connectivity is solid. So we are going to work and collaborate with our telecommunication industries to ensure that you have reliable communication. You are studying, you can't afford your internet to drop out. So we definitely need to work, and we are committed to working with them, because here, we're not putting anybody under the bus. We are working with our people to ensure that we grow and we prosper. And since I'm on telecommunications, I want to tell you, when you leave here and you vote for us and you see us and you keep this little paper close to you, tell us what is on your mind. How are you going to do that? On the radio! On the radio! On the radio! There's more than one way to skin a cat. I gave them the opportunity to prove themselves, and they said, check the notes, that they would reinstate what is on your mind. I asked for the report. No report. I asked what happened. They said it's resting. But if what's on your mind is resting, be rest assured it will be resurrected under the United Alliance. My brothers and sisters, before somebody reined me in, because they said they have a pig and they were to I'm eating pig, you know the hook? Yes. Right. I challenge you tonight. I charge you tonight to rise up. Rise up and arise and build this country. The time is now. No more lost opportunities. No more complaining. We are going to work together to advance, progress, develop, and enjoy good success and prosperity in this country, because you deserve it. You have suffered long. It is almost 30 years. Enough is enough. So together, we will and we shall arise and live. Let God continue to bless us, to bless our children, bless our land, and all the people of Montserrat. My brothers and sisters, with God's help, we are more than well able to arise and build. The time is now. Thank you.
Give it up, give it up, give it up. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. Mrs. Dawson, strike a note. Give you a short story. When they closed on What's on Your Mind, I went to the manager to apologize because I was blamed. You know, they blamed the shark fella. And I said to him, listen, put back What's on Your Mind on the ear and ban me. I will not call it, I will have nothing to say, but give the population their voice. Forget about me, being important, he talks much. He said to me, Bear is bigger than that. It's not about you alone, it's bigger than that. When you close on the voice of the people, you take them back into slavery. And I'm happy to hear that you're going to bring back What's on Your Mind. Because not because you see me hover on this shirt, mean that you're going to get wet. Any nonsense. And you know, licks. And you know me well. The cards so everything. So I'm happy to hear that they bring back What's on Your Mind. Because you take licks now? Alright then. Surely I went to them and tell them I'll stop calling. Because sometimes I'm offensive. So take me off. It's alright. Be a good shot. Give the people their voice. And they still go in Parliament and close it down. Vote to close it down. And now they want you to listen to them. You believe that? They want you to listen to them. They don't want to hear you, but you must listen to them and what they have to say. Nonsense. Hey man, this thing never be with them. Don't worry. We have this thing for them. Never again. Never again. Tell the people play. We're not voting them up again. New tune coming. New tune coming. New tune coming. Anyway, the next speaker is a young man who was with the empire. And it's time to his progress. They gave him the PRO job and still what he has to say. Tonight, he's here to address you. And what are you going to be talking about?
Population.
Population. All right then. Give it up for Mr. Jensen.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen, and good night outside and inside. I really understand that we can't stand or move from here, but I'm a little bit tossed. I'm going to grab the mic. So as I look around and I look at the inspiration in this room, I'm seeing people that I've known all of my life, some that I've just met, and I see one common denominator, which is love. Give it up for yourself if you love Montserrat tonight. Every people that love Montserrat tonight, make some noise for Montserrat. That for 5 years we've had a government and they have been warned. Witness number 1, Miss Hector Dorset, she's there. Witness number 2, my brother Mr. Austin Howe. Witness number 3, we have spoken to the administration and told them the only way that you're going to get Montserrat unified is to love the people. The only way that you will get Montserrat moving forward is to love the people. Montserrat is not just for your supporters. Montserrat is for everybody from all over. He's from Salem, he's from Lookout, he's from Harrison, he's from Gray. Montserrat is for everybody. Montserrat is growing. Montserrat is now moving with new people. My mother is here tonight. My mother is here tonight. And Montserrat has been built by persons not only from Montserrat, but from the Caribbean region and across the world. And when I hear people speak about persons in community and make Montserrat their home, it makes me cry and weep. A big man weep when I tell the minister, the premier, young man, there are people working in the police and nurses. COVID is happening. It's bringing the families together. Let them feel safe. And you tell these people, no, you cannot be together. Your child is out there in another country. And you cannot sleep because COVID is ravaging the world. And you will not put the systems in place. This party, the United Alliance, are going to put policies in place to bring the population together. We just graduated 55 students from the MSS. Ask them how many of them are still here. It has taken them 3 months to start the HYPE program so that they can get a little work. Have they been sleeping? What happened to the budget? Did they ever got the funds? Well, this party is not lying and we're not sleeping and we're not like opposition, we're not talking. We are out there doing things and understanding the issues that are facing our population. It's been 10 years, the population has been at 4,500, just about. But we are not there thinking about, oh, that's the only way we are. We have to go forward. And to do that, we must give the people of Montserrat, those who are living here, those who want to come from our diaspora, the opportunity to weigh in on issues and be heard. And that is what the United Alliance is about. My sister just said, what's on your mind? We were passionate and we said, you have to bring it back. This is the voice of the people. How else are you going to learn? But I'm telling you here this evening, you here before me as witnesses, and you out there in David Hill, that the United Alliance is unified on the approach to bring this country back with the population that we have. And I'm telling you also, that how is it that you can be sitting, comfortable, getting your salary every month, when people have to be wondering, how is my wife overseas? You must be able to bring them and the Montserratians here. Where are we going to go? This is all we know. And to bring our
children back. My sister has come back from so far. Sheridan, welcome. You are here, and you are witness of what we can do. Pushing all people forward, giving them the opportunities so that they can do what? Take up the rightful place here in Montserrat. Do you know that the youngest person going into this election is John Osborne? Give it up for John Osborne, being the youngest person. And that is what young population and population retention does. We are thinking about the National Youth Council. We will bring that back. We will also seek to help Prince these young people to pass on the cassava tradition to teach. But you want to train, you want to teach. But nobody has been able to step forward and set up a program so that Prince can have a young person to work with. And this is part of the population retention. And they wouldn't have for years. So we have to do these things, ladies and gentlemen, to get things going. Where will it start? Some quick things that we can fix. It doesn't take, all of us get sick. Sickness doesn't just come to Montserrat. Sickness doesn't come to Antigua. Sickness doesn't come to Jamaica. When we go to the hospital, the fees should be straight and straight across the board. We're fixing that right away. Because sickness is not just for one country or the other. And these are the issues that the population is asking for something. So the United Alliance has done what? We've walked. We've listened. And we promise that we will serve you and do what we pledge to do. Vote United Alliance in the next general election. The high debate, but when the time comes, we vote in United Alliance. Good night.
Yes, Mr. Sky. I like what I'm hearing tonight. I really like what I'm hearing tonight. Yes, you spoke about something earlier about separating your families. And sometimes I try not to speak about things from the past. And some of them are painful. I could give examples where people who walk on this country tell they love people. They're not talking the truth. They're not talking the truth. There was a young Jamaican man who worked with us last election. Every night he opened up the equipment pickup. North, east, south, and west. The equipment called him, he's there. During COVID, his wife came. And she spent 3 months. And he went 2 years. He was no kind of me. I said, Mr. Premier, this is the same gentleman who every night was on the street. You know, say, late by things that what Jamaica come up tomorrow. Let us get this. Lay by things that go Jamaica and come back tomorrow. That is how you love people. When people sacrifice for you, you want to say something like that to human being. You know, when you go to Jamaica, you want to do the job, you can't vote for them. But your response was lay by one thing, go to Jamaica. And then come on next week, tomorrow. How much sense does that make? You know, we'll continue. We spoke earlier about why certain things happen in Montserrat. I'm sure we all remember back then we had a serious time when elections was going every day. And the water level was running in the tank to very low. Sunday morning, I heard the governor was up in St. John's sharing water for my tea. I said to the Premier, why is it that the governor has to be called to go to St. John's to give water to people? You are the Premier. You're the Minister of Communications and Works. You independent people have so little confidence in you that they prefer to call the governor to bring water for them. And you are the Premier. When you leave a void in your leadership, that is what happens. And people have been saying it online. Leadership matters. Let us not fool ourselves. Leadership matters. Because if you have a leader, somebody's going to lead us. I mean, I want some people lead me. We have to have people prepared to stand and do what is right for us. The next person I'm going to introduce, again, is a little task with the people living close to me. She grew up in Greece and I was in Jingles. This is a young lady who have done so much for Montserrat. And she has suffered so much from Montserrat. And it's hard that she's here tonight. Because she had to go to England to borrow enough money to pay her mortgage. But she's back with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome.
About 10 years ago, there was a Textgate scandal. I don't know who remembers the Textgate scandal. I wanted to run with Reuben Meade, and I made a wrong decision, and I ran with a party that not only abused me, but really let the country go. And 5 years after that, I was so disillusioned by party politics that I couldn't run with a party. But I am very pleased today to say that I found the right party to run with. Honored to be able to run with Honorable Reuben Meade. We all know that he's the right person to take Montserrat forward over the next 5 years. And I'm very excited because I have a lot of respect and love for everybody on this team. And I'm sure you all know them personally and know that they bring so much to the table. And together, I am 100% sure that we can take Montserrat forward. I grew up in Meade in the south. I grew up a very shy, quiet person, very afraid of a lot of things. And I went into medicine because I wanted to help humanity. And 10 years in, or 13 years in, I realized that you can slave away as a doctor all you want. You can work morning, noon, and night. You can give up food, water, and toilet privileges and try to help your people that way. But if you cannot change the big picture, if you cannot change health policy and health law, then people are still going to suffer and people are still going to die. So over the last 15 years, I've watched people go through some very unfortunate situations. And I've realized, and I think we all realize, that what we're actually dying of, and it's getting worse and worse, are one, the cancers, because we're not diagnosing them early enough, and two, the complications of the chronic non-communicable diseases. So the complications of diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, obesity, and the end result of these conditions, unfortunately, is kidney failure, stroke, and heart attack. And you may have noticed that over the last 5 years, people are falling from heart attacks and strokes. And it's a bit like a deja vu situation where the government or the ministry doesn't seem to know what to do. Over the last couple of months, at least before I left Montserrat a couple of months ago, within 2 weeks, 2 of our citizens died of heart attacks when they didn't have to. Nobody who has a heart attack should go and lie down on the ward of London. What are you going to lie down here for? Nowadays, if you get the right intervention early on, you don't have to die. So in the UK government has over the years changed health legislation and changed health policy to make sure that the people don't have to die. So they have laws in place and policies in place to ensure that they can put the right money, they can put the money to the right places so that they can be investing continuously in healthcare so that people can live rather than succumb to these conditions. As you know, in Montserrat, we're a colony, and we want to be led by a government and by a strong premier who has our best interests at heart and a team that has our best interests at heart. But I'm sure you realize that over the last 5 years in particular, and to be honest, the 5 years before that, we're led by a governor. As much as the governor claims to care about the country, and the governor is the most important person when it comes to things like access, and when it comes to prisons and policing and the military. But the mission statement of the British government is that yes, they're responsible for all of these things and they're the boss and they're in control, but their mission statement says that the health care of the citizens of the overseas territories is the responsibility of the governments of the overseas territories and not the British government. Britain doesn't care about your health care. It is essential that you elect a government that loves you as a people, that cares about you as a people, and has your best interests at heart when it comes to health care. I'm running for politics because I want to change what's happening now. I want us to go back to the laws which were put in place in the 1960s and 1970s, which presently do not serve us. We have health policies in place which are simply not allowing our health administrators and our nurses and doctors to focus on the right things so that we can survive our medical experiences. To do this, I cannot run by myself. I have to run with the best possible team. And I believe with my everything, with my heart and soul, that this is the right team to push Montserrat forward. I want us to make sure that we have proper cancer screening programs in place so that if people are going to be diagnosed with a cancer, it's diagnosed when it's very early so that we can actually do something about it so that we can live. I am tired of seeing people show up with a stage 4 cancer and we try to rush them to England to see what we can do. There's nothing that we can do. We can give them 6 months extra, yes, but we cannot save their lives. We need to be big on cancer screening. We need to have a cancer registry that makes sure that everybody on Montserrat is tested for the most common cancers. We're still finding men with prostate cancer at a stage that we can't do anything about. We're still finding people with colon cancer that has metastasized. What can we do? We're finding ovarian cancer too late. We need to work it into health law and health policy like the UK has in their own country. They have policies in place to make sure that cancer screening is happening. And if anybody has any sort of a symptom of a cancer, that within 2 weeks they are fully investigated for cancer so that our people can live. We are tired of going to the graveyard. We are tired of watching our people die. And when it comes to stroke and heart attack, we want our patients to live. There is no reason why in 2024 we cannot offer the population of Montserrat first-class health care.
Sure.
If you have a heart attack here, we can get you to Martinique for stenting, and we can get you there in a hurry. We don't need to put you to lie down at Denver. If you have a stroke, we should be able to scan you and if necessary send you. We've been begging for a CT scanner for 15 years. And after 15 years, the CT scanner has come and they're still not scanning anyone. They don't have people in place, they don't have staffing in place to make it happen. There's a mammogram machine sitting down there for over a year. Surely, that is not the kind of governance that you want. You want to put a government in place that cares about you, that cares about your health care, no matter where you are from. For the non-nationals among us, the people from Guyana and Jamaica, you have left your good country where there is CT scanning, colonoscopy, endoscopy, MRI, and all the specialists known to mankind to come here and work with us and live with us. And I really want to be able to offer that to you to make sure that your move to Montserrat has not been in vain, that you are not come here to suffer. And as you can see, there are people on our team who care passionately about agriculture. You've left your good farms and markets in Jamaica and Guyana to come here. You can't even find food to eat. You're waiting for a Dominica boat to come. So many years later, the volcano is a thing of the past, and we as a people need to move on. In terms of access, mercy. Yes, we want to sort out short-term, we want to sort out making sure that larger planes can come in. But the only way forward for Montserrat economically is to make sure that we have an airstrip that can accommodate an international plane. If you compare Montserrat to Bermuda, and I compare it over and over again, Bermuda is a British colony. Bermuda is 22 miles long and 1 mile wide. And in the 1960s, their population was 12,000, 13,000 like ours. But Bermuda started out their constitution back then with their lawyers, their businessmen, their professionals, to make sure that they would have a constitution that served them. So over the years, Bermuda has grown. Bermuda doesn't have to ask for a CT scanner. and beg them to sort of access. They have everything they need. I want that to be our comparison. Let's get to the point where access is no problem, where education is no problem, where we're celebrating our festivals throughout the year, where people in this country have a voice and can express themselves and can live at the standard of living that they have come here to live at. Not to come here and be disappointed, but to come here and know that you can flourish, your children can flourish, and that you're living in a place that is beautiful. So, tonight I am begging you to vote for the United Alliance, to vote for Reuben, Meade, and this fantastic team that he has put together. And I can promise you that Montserrat will progress to a fantastic place where we can all be proud, we can all be safe, and we don't have to die. Thank you for coming.
The vote for Dr. Reuben, they can't control it. She with the right people. Leadership matters. She's comfortable here and she will be guided accordingly. Father figure, right here. What we say? Nobody will frustrate her. She will not be frustrated. She will be learning from the best. Anybody from Lookout here? You set the appropriate? They almost killed Miss Dorset. Or she wanted to set the prospect and the bill never passed. So how you jump over to the next cycle to make sure the bill passed? Nonsense! The bill was passed and they still can't find the money to fix the septic. So what was the hoorah about? You tell me. No worry them, you want to say hoorah. Oh, what happened? I tried it too. I was with them trying to get her to cross the floor to join them. And because she said, I cannot lead in improper leadership, they turned against her in Parliament. That was the problem in Parliament today when Miss Dorset was chastised because she said, you are cannot lead and I'm not going to join you. That's why they did. That's why they chastised her. Not because of no septic, not. It wasn't that. They couldn't get you to join them, ain't it? Leadership matters. Our next speaker. Our next speaker. Get up, y'all know, community today. You see this place here? Yes. The amount of work she has done in this village with this place. The amount of work she has done in this place with this place. And she's coming to tell you what else she's going to do. Give it up for land.
Leadership matters.
Yes.
Leadership matters.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, United Alliance. Let me tell you a little bit about myself tonight before I turn up the heat again. I'm Ann Thomas. I hail from Corkin Village originally. Many people might know my uncle Lakawana.
Yes.
Many people might know my grandfather from Molyneux, extra strong. He was a farmer, a butcher, a dentist, and a girl's man. But he had a big family, and I am the descendant of that because he was also a hard worker and cared for persons. Many people might know my father from Salem, Fredo. Yes? And everybody know that Fredo loves everybody. Fredo will sacrifice everything so persons can be happy. I'm sorry. But since I can remember, I've always loved people. I've always worked for people. I started back in Corkin in the nursery school. I spent many years serving in the Montserrat Red Cross. I've served on different boards to include the credit union. I've served on school boards and many others. And the latest is being the president of this building for the past 6 years. And my feeling is that coming into Devon Hill to live in 2016 and taking up a community that many people thought was ghetto and turn it around that we provided programs for our people within the community. Pedicure for our elderly folks on a monthly basis, so we can look at their feet and see what is wrong and they can go and get their care. Sunday school for the children, Christmas party, I won't name all of them. At the moment, we are working on aquaponics on the roof because we believe that people need to know how to feed themselves. So we are trying a different agricultural method because we realize our youth are not too much into the dirt and the pork and the farm business. But ladies and gentlemen, we need to feed ourselves. Yes? Let me get in my topic tonight. I'm going to speak about micro businesses and the support that needs to happen for them in Montserrat. And we hear the volume turning up. Over the past 4 years, it got louder. You hear the conversation, economy dead, business dead. We see around us that businesses are closing. We notice that workers are working days per week. We notice that the paychecks are dwindling. And we know people who are paying bills long after their businesses have closed. We see people leaving the island in frustration, disappointment. And I must say, ladies and gentlemen, it is real. The struggle is real. It is real. And I ask myself, should we have gone through ash? Should we have gone through COVID and people are in the island that they love and are hungry? People in the island that they love and cannot make a living to pay their bills and support their children? And the answer is no. We should be here and having to struggle. The current government has acknowledged that there is a problem. So they created a program to help the small and medium-sized businesses. But out of the 87 applications that were received, only 22 businesses were given to them. What happened to the other 65? What happened to the persons who were given the assurance that they would get some help to survive? Up to recently, we have persons that say when they call to check to see what is happening, they are told to hold on. Hold on to what? Hold on when people are hungry. Hold on when children are getting less than the correct food. Hold on when parents are trying to find out how am I going to buy what the children need to go back to school September. The bills are piling up and people are still leaving. September 2023, the census gave a figure of 4,386 persons currently in Ireland. And that is the lowest population that Montserrat have seen in all its existence. And now approximately 9 months, 10 months later, we know that it is less because we know of persons leaving every day. We know of persons and families who just can't take it anymore. They've struggled, they've tried to bear it out, but they can't take it anymore. I sat at the table tonight and I listened to one lady outside and she said, leadership matters because she's thinking of leaving. Just can't take it anymore. But the question I ask, is our government in power out of touch?
Yes. Yes.
Is our government in power blind?
Yes.
Is our government in power don't care?
Yes.
Why is it that they can't understand that the people are punishing on them? We see the cost of living climbing. Every time a shipment comes into customs, the prices go up in the shop. What is the government doing about it? What is the government doing to help persons to be able to stretch their dollar a little bit more? We used to have an economy where persons used to have a second job or do a little something on the side to get a little bit of extra money. But you know what? All of that is out the door. It is non-existent. Ladies and gentlemen, let us not give up. Leadership matters. Leadership matters. Leadership matters. Yes. There is a saying that behind every dark cloud, there is a silver lining. Yes. of us at the table here tonight, we live here. We are not coming in trying to bypass the system to get on the candidates list. We live here. Each one of us have a business, at least one business. So we are feeling the struggle too. But you know what? Leadership matters. So we decided that we are going to join a leader. Who cares? And who decides to come out of retirement to help our people? How can we not run with Reuben Meade? He was in retirement. He was in his rocking chair, I think, enjoying himself in the middle of the day with a drink of choice. And he decided to come out because he cannot see his people suffering anymore. Leadership matters. Listen, we know we have challenges ahead, and we know that we can't fix everything overnight. But we've started the work. We are working on a strategy that will benefit all of us, whether we are Montserratian by birth, whether we are Montserratian by choice, whether we are Montserratian living here, whether we are Montserratian living overseas. We are going to make things better. Leadership matters. Leadership matters. United we stand. United Alliance is the party for you. United Alliance under the leadership of Reuben Meade will help pull this country back from the brink. We will stem the flow of persons leaving Ireland. We will make provision for our persons who are over there and want to come back. We have on our team persons with many skills, many ideas, and all of us have business that are successful. So we know how to run the country. We know how to run the country. And one man that had Montserrat going positively for 2 terms. I'm going to share with you some of the solutions that we are working on. We are initiating. We started initiating discussions with customs because we have to find a way to get shipments coming into Montserrat cheaper on the shelves for persons. We have to find a way. Persons need to have a bit more money in their pockets so that when they go to the shop, they can buy a little bit more. We are going to be looking at ways where we can find seed monies to help resuscitate some of the business that are on life support. We are going to help rejuvenate some of the businesses that needs the help. We are going to ensure that training opportunities are going to be available for all who want to partake. Many training opportunities and training opportunities on island and off island for who so wish. We are going to seek to find, and we are going to find the financial support to assist persons who want to bring their creative and their innovative ideas to life. We are going to continue using our experts in the different departments to support our business people until they can be steady on their feet. Because you know what? If persons know how to do things a little bit better, it means a difference in profitability. It means that they may be able to make a bit more profit and they will start making a profit. Many persons are affected by having to go to immigration and having to go to the labor, spend a long time, lose a day pay. Businesses have to close because the owners have to go for time or they have to go to immigration to get certain things done. One of the things that the United Alliance is saying is that persons who are residing on the island for 3 years plus, we are going to waive the permanent residence requirements so that they can have permanent residence. So they don't have to lose money sitting and waiting to get these things done. If persons are normal and they decide to stay here and live with us, why do we harass them? Why do we not care about them? They made Montserrat their home by choice. Ladies and gentlemen, I conclude. Help is on the way.
Yes.
Help is on the way.
Yes.
The United Alliance is here, and we're asking you, when you go to the polls, consider the United Alliance for your next government. Work with us to make it happen. Work with the United Alliance.
All right.
And for us to come. Thank you very much. And we move on. Short pause. Who can remember a couple months ago in Parliament, the Premier says that we'll have a ferry in Montserrat until March next year? Who can remember that statement? And then he come back in next week and say, I told them just a fooling. Is that leadership? You're going in Parliament and telling people of the country you're going to have a ferry for 1 year until March next year. Next week, in the route of 89, I fool me a fooling. That's not the behavior of a leader. You don't do those kind of things. You are a leader, you must lead. And the group keeps saying all night, leadership matters. The people must hear this message. Leadership matters.
Yes.
Now you look right. First time. Everybody's going to call him to the platform. Come on, John. Come on, John.
Good night, everybody. Good night. So, you might see that I'm a bit nervous this time.
Don't be nervous, John. Don't be nervous.
I'll tell you why.
All of them shouting for you.
My mother is here tonight, and this is the very first time that she would have ever heard me public speak.
Let's get it going.
Alright, so I'm not nervous for the public. I'm nervous because one, I'm junior to a very great one. I know she expects very great things of me.
Yes. Let's go. Home run.
So, I want to start off my presentation a little bit different. A lot of people have been asking me one question on the road. They're asking me, why should I vote for the United Alliance? And my answer to that is, action speaks louder than words.
That's right.
You know what I said? Action speaks louder than words. And I'm going to explain. When I want to explain these things, I use my cousin Dwayne as an example, because he was an example to me growing up. When I am out on the campaign, I can tell you, I can take just Dwayne alone, and he has done more for people in Montserrat than any other party. As a matter of fact, out of all the other parties, and Dwayne alone has done more people in Montserrat. Dwayne alone. When I look at the other members of my team, when I look at Marjorie, and I see the community support that she provides to even youth and sports. When I look at Jensen, and I see the community support that they provide to youth and sports also. Miss Veronica Hector, any young woman in Montserrat that wants any support from Miss Veronica Hector can go to Miss Veronica Hector. I want to give up Anne, because Anne is your community leader. And it's the reason why many of you are here in this building right now. So I don't have to go into talk about Anne, because you know what Anne is. I'm going to talk about a very special lady.
I'm proud of you.
Very special lady. Dr. Buffon.
Yes.
Dr. Buffon knows people more than anybody I know. Matter of fact, Dr. Buffon knows people so much that if you go to her practice, you're going to charge you for work. All she wants to do is see that you are well. That's all she wants to do. She knows people more than anybody else.
You're scoring,
No. And I'm going to go into the same topic that everybody talks about, but I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm going to talk about leadership matters. What I'm going to tell you is more about characteristics. While I've been out campaigning, I've learned some stories. One of the stories that I learned, which I didn't know because I was young at the time, there have only been 2 leaders of Montserrat that have operated Montserrat outside of Grand Canyon. 2 leaders. The first one would have been my father.
Yes.
And the reason why my father actually, let me say, he took Montserrat out of Grand Canyon. The reason why he was able to take people out of Grand Canyon is because my father loved people and and he wanted to empower his people. He did that just to government. He did that himself personally. My father was an example of many Montserratians. Matter of fact, I was told a story just today. One of the reasons why my father was such a big impact to Montserratians is because of his skin color, somebody told me. He was one of the first dark-skinned Montserratians to elevate above what people thought that dark-skinned Montserratians could achieve. And because of that, he became an example to many people. Yes. So when you talk about leadership, I talk about empathy, I talk about their characteristics. You have to talk about what they're successful at. You can't tell me that you're a leader and you're not successful at anything. Matter of fact, you probably fail at everything. And you're telling me that you will come to run Montserrat? Joking out. No way.
We got better sense than that.
I believe you. Are you my godfather?
Yes.
The other person that we've heard a lot about on the campaign trail, and is the only surviving person right now, because obviously my father passed away, that has run Montserrat out of Grand today, is our leader, Reuben.
Yes!
Only other person.
Yes! I love him.
As we know, Reuben is a very successful economist and a very successful contractor. Matter of fact, in your community here in Hill, we went to a house and the person said to Reuben, listen, only when you build a government, we feel any kind of money in the pocket right now, we broke.
Yes. That is what was there.
So as I said again, leadership matters. Now, to get into my topic is actually on business and investment. I'm pretty sure that many of you know me as an entrepreneur why that would have been my topic. But again, I want to ask everybody here a small question because I'm still young. What was the price of soda when actually, matter of fact, I was going to say people over 50, but nobody here like they over 50. But if anybody over 50, what was the price of soda? Prince, what was the price of soda when you were a child? Come on, put the rest of it. Right, so the price of soda was less than $1. When most of you go out, and I said, $1. There you go. Well, 5 cents? Well, I grew up in a time when somebody said 5 cents. The reason why I asked you this question is because I'm trying to get to the topic of why business matters. Montserrat imports over 90% of the things that we sell here, which means that the only control we have over pricing is duties, and maybe if we get people to buy in more volume so they get discounts. Yeah. So, although we want to aim to lower the cost of living, which we will, we have some ideas of how we lower the cost of living. What we want to do as a group is create businesses so that you can have more money in your pocket to buy what you feel like.
Yes!
That is what we want to do.
Yes.
Because you need more money in your pocket. It's not just about food. When the electricity gone up, you see the manifesto me on the radio Thursday because I will tell you why. She laughing so she know. So people need to have more money in their pocket in order to survive. So what we as the United Alliance want to do is actually, and if you look at our manifesto, you'll realize that a lot of what we're doing right now, we start with you, the people first. So if you're thinking about business or thinking about investment, if you look at our short-term goals, it starts with you first. I was overseeing and somebody said to me, they said, if you don't prepare your people by allowing them to facilitating them to have business and investing in their own country, and you only bring people in from overseas for direct investment, then you will have officially sold your country. Because what happens after that is that your people only provide labor and they don't own any piece of the pie out of the natural things that actually make money. So if you look at the United Alliance, you realize that we start with you first because we want you to be the first business owner.
That's right. Home run!
Now, you might ask where you going to get the money from. How many of you in here know that your government owns 52% of our country?
Yes, true.
We all know that the hardest part of business is starting and finding the capital and finding the money to start. We will create the policies that make it easier for you to get loans and grants to start your businesses. Matter of fact, depending on what industry you're in, we might even provide you the direct equipment. We know that Mr. Meade is famous for his breadfruit. We heard about that in the last campaign. So, you see me laughing up here. One of the ideas that he has come up with is to dry these breadfruits. And you refer to and talk about micro businesses. This is what you're talking about. We can bring into your home small dryers And we have spoken to the agricultural department and the relevant stakeholders about dealing with equality, so we can bring these dryers into your home and start using small micro businesses that you can then take and make some money for yourself. Because again, as I said, it's not only about lowering the cost of living, it's also about putting more money into your pocket. So to go on, again, and I was going to a medium term. Let me just go to a medium term plans. Most of what I would have spoken about in the short term plans, they don't require a lot of money, just really policy. Or medium term plans would require some kind of money, so that's why obviously I brought in the issue of Bank of Montserrat, issue of getting grants and funds. So let's talk about the medium term plans. Matter of fact, does anybody have a copy of the manifesto? Yes. If you turn to page 1, 2, 3, 4, I think these are the English name of the pages. You turn to page 4. Yes. You see the type of business and investment. Part of our medium term plan is to redevelop the NBC or something much like it. Matter of fact, we're going to expand it even more. The reason for doing this is when we create these micro businesses for you, we want to ease your burden of having to find the buyers for them. This corporation will bring together, will come to your houses, will take the goods from you, will market them, and we will sell them, and we will give you your share of the money. The other thing we want to do is, many of you would have been in touch with your UK diaspora. Yes. So we want to go even further. We want to show you that we have a visionary party. We want to go even further. We know that there's a young lady now in the Montserrat office in the UK. I think it is time that we establish having these connections with the UK. And I've explained to you why the UK market will become one of our most important markets. UK market is going to be more important than even the US market for one reason. One, we have a very big diaspora in the UK. Correct. Someone told me about 30,000 people. The other benefit of the UK is that shipping, marketing, and distribution is easier in the UK than in the US. We have a diaspora that is actually very close in the UK. The UK is actually just an island, it's very small. It means that when you actually decide to import or export stuff to the UK, it's easy to distribute. And I'll tell you how. I learned recently that there are a lot of Montserratians in the UK actually doing very well for themselves. There are a lot of small businesses spread throughout the UK, but we just don't hear about them. We need to go out and find these people. I went to Florida the other day, and I understood what the Jamaicans do to get their products marketed. If you go to every single Jamaican store in Florida, you will find products that are shipped here directly from Jamaica. So they don't rely on just the big name stores. Matter of fact, they're showing up in the big name stores now because they become so popular in the small stores. That is a model. Since we already have people in the UK that are already established business people, that is a model that we can easily follow and build confidence in the Montserrat products. We have a lot of good products here. Our honey is top notch. I think when I have allergies, I take more Montserrat honey, and after a while, to be the allergies go. We have top notch products. So our hot sauce, I prefer to use our hot sauce. Mr. Meade will bring back in his breadfruit because he showed us a picture of what dry breadfruit prices are in the UK. You can imagine one little bag of dry breadfruit costs more than what we pay for a whole breadfruit here. That is value added money for our people. We put more money in our people's pockets. So that's why again I said our medium term we will support these businesses. And when it's a party that comes here and tells you this is what we're going to do. As you guys see, we have a plan around everything. From A to B to distribution. And we go on to our long-term goals. One of the things that I want everybody to realize, and be me, the truth of the fact is, the budgetary aid that we get from the UK was never really meant to develop Montserrat. Yes, we sit down and we try to set up and negotiate for things, but the real issue is, it was never really meant for developing Montserrat. You can look at it over history. How long has it taken us to even get into a poor hospital for us? Exactly. You know, it just means that that is not their plan. We are operating outside the plan. Matter of fact, I can't even call a name, but somebody from their department said to me that if you want to develop Montserrat, you need to go out and get foreign direct investment to also grow your economy. So we have to get access to other funds. If you look at the long-term plan here, or 5-year plan, is that we're going to develop and promote Montserrat as a hub for foreign direct investment.
Yes.
What I want to do is end my presentation tonight by saying we are the United Alliance. United as a party, united as a whole community. Look at everybody here. We want to unite the country. You know, after the election, we don't care what party, we're going to unite the whole country.
Yes. That's the end.
And what we want to do is, we want to change Montserrat. For people thinking that with us British independence, when we grow our economy, what we are going to call our British trade partners, they will value us at that point.
Score me runs,
They
boy.
will value us then. As words like you, that hear the word meant to throw around, that's not us. I heard stories of how hard working Montserratians were before the volcano. I understand that the volcano came and the volcano would have reset a lot of our beliefs and a lot of principles, and it would have brought people down into thinking that they can't recover. We as a government understand the tender nature of Montserrat. You understand that right now Montserrat is like a baby, and we have to nurture it and give it everything it needs to bring it back to where it is. So again, I started my presentation by saying action speaks louder than words.
Yes.
And this is my party, and we are saying to you, our actions will speak louder than our words. Give it up.
And we have vision.
Now, one of the things that I noticed here is that we've been saying leadership matters. But let me tell you something. You can't come and lead up unless you vote for the party.
That's right. Tell them again.
And you hear me say?
Say it again.
Voting for him alone. No help, nothing. Do not split up your votes for help nobody else. Vote for them, the 8 of them, and put the one in your pocket. Because at the end of the day, if you don't vote for the whole party, you might have an opposition sitting up. You understand what I'm trying to say? So yes, you want him to come back, but you have to give him a team. And you can only give him a team if you vote for his team. Now, let me tell you how this man could unite people. I have been fighting against that shinehead boy for years in this country.
Yes.
In politics. Sometimes we call him and ask him, how do you speak, boy? You have to come and clean up the mess every time they want to hear or do something. You hear Aston in the radio trying to save them. Me like?
No.
He try everything and somebody say, Aston, you can't go to him by your head now. You can trust me. You don't know how you help save them people. And to see Mr. Meade called me and told me, Beer, you've been calling me all the time to come back. But I'm bringing some people with me who you might not like. I said, can they do the job? He said, yes. He said, now if you come and go out with them, bring them. When I saw Austin, I said, Amen. If you can bring me and Austin on the same platform to save this country, that's leadership. That's leadership. That's leadership. Thank you. Now, we're going to do some endorsements before we bring the kingpin. Yes, we're going to do some endorsement before we bring the kingpin. Sit down. Will you do that? Now start me now. I'm telling you, I'm hungry. We're going to call on one of our most esteemed gentlemen in this country. In his name, he has taken Montserrat abroad.
Yes.
In cricket.
Yes.
First international umpire from this region. Right honorable Basil Morgan. He is going to endorse this party. Give him your love.
Yes.
Come on now.
Tell me that again. Good evening, all. The mic on? No. Check the mic. Good evening all. My name is, for those who don't know me, Basil Elliot Walter Moore. Better known as Ox. Retired ICC, which means International Cricket Council umpire. The only one from these North Islands. Only one. And I looked around over the years and the way that people them all in this country, especially sport, they're treated namely Jimael. Out of courage. And myself, I tell you this, I've asked the present government on 2 occasions for the concession for people. And they told me no.
Yes. Wrong.
They told me no.
And you support
They told me
them.
no. This housing business, what we call the housing, rehousing, grant.
Yes.
I applied on 3 occasions. They sent back to the son by me out. They sent another lady by me out for 2 times. Nothing can be done. I met a particular person in the party and I asked, what have I done? He said, they should not value the question. Because we won't know. But I have worked, you know, I don't know. That individual said, you're right, but you know, you should look after you.
Right on the rebel.
Never did. But I'm here tonight to endorse a party led by my godfather's son, Tommy Meade. Tommy Meade must have seen this in me. When Tommy Meade used to come from our house during Christmas Eve, presenting me at Christmas Eve, it was always a quick ball. Always a quick ball. And I'm here tonight to endorse the United Kingdom. And I know it's tonight, but I'm getting emotional.
Yes.
I know, and I'm happy to do so. You know, when I look at this wonderful faces here, one of them kind of worked at the end of the sky. I'm not call her name because she means well. Good man. Then look at one you see down there. You tell me for Eddie Buffon. Last year, I got a gentleman with humanitarian. I reported to Basil Chambers at 40 Wall Street, so 40 Central Party. I went by. I ended up at Sailing Park, representing this woman. And she called me. I referred to Ingrid from Basil Morgan, you left to this country. And as of from today, you come to represent me. You will not have to.
What? Yes. Give me your flowers.
And the other one, I'm Petty Data. I am a Petty. And you see that lady stood by me. In the very when I was a little bit pretty ground. That me, Pastor Martin, we will not go down.
Yes.
Don't
get emotional, bro. Hold it.
How can I support them? Not me. So I am saying, point of order, call the election now. Yes. Call the election now.
Yes.
Call the election now.
Yes.
Call the election now.
Yes.
So I endorse this United Alliance Party. We will win. We got them.
Yes.
We have them now.
I'm on the run.
Thank you very much.
Before I leave here, I must take you to gentlemen for this country for himself. See them after me.
Yes, sir.
The Christian church. The Christian church. And I'm not going to bring hand out for the people. comes from respect. I could believe this. And when I went to visit my grandchildren, and I went to go to Government Road, and I see all the streets with names of all the ministers that take the West Indies. Go to the coast. Go to the coast. Helicorner Street.
See the valley.
With no history behind them. No history behind them.
We're going to change that. And establishment job.
Yes, establishment job. The man will be over the man there. When they give up the thing of the street. And that first people, when they don't travel, and they my neighbors, you see they go from Golden Street, so down to Solo Street. You don't see the Jumani Street. You don't see the Soho Street. That's the thing, that's. Good night, everyone. Everyone's listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Do we have a former Calypso Monarch? Pastor, are you around?
Yes.
Pastor, are you around?
Yes.
Julie Irish, are you around?
Julie Irish, are you around?
Yes.
Come show your hand. We're gonna give.
Come Julie.
We give 3 minutes. We give you anyone who wants to say something. We're gonna give you 3 minutes.
No, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
All right. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Come and say something on behalf of the United Alliance because your yard is Parliament.
Good night, everyone. Last four. I'm a little bit lost for words here because I'm still wondering if I'm really seeing such a great party put together. Mr. Meade, you're great. You're great. I run behind this man for months and months and months to run behind him because I realized we need somebody that can talk, somebody that can, take us out of the problem today. And he decided one day, called me and he said, "You're by the shop?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I'm coming here now." And when he got here, he said, "I think I'm going to consider what you said." I was so excited that I work for today because this is what I wanted to hear. But I was worried about who is going to get to go with him. I look around for myself, I couldn't think of nobody. And then he come back another day and he said, "This we all have meeting by your shop." The people in there really say that is the Parliament House because we always have meetings here.
Yes.
And when he told me about the people that he's working on and so forth, I said, "Boy, I wonder if you know that." But when I look tonight, I'm behind me and I'm sitting down and I said, well. Of course, there's two people from across the bridge, and we had to get two people from across the bridge, or I will be getting no place at all. But the government, I'm so happy to see. Mr. Dawson, same to you. Yes, sir, Mr. Ashton. No, his daddy has him on the country. Let's not get into that right now. Anyhow, I'm glad to see y'all, and I'm hoping that everything will go down good for us. I don't see no problems, because I know Mr. Meade could take care of any problem. He doesn't have it. Right? And I'm with y'all 150%.
Thank you.
And I can talk right now. Okay? So we are looking forward for this election to come. I want all the people here and all the other people, please, let's vote party. Okay? And let's go. Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, we have a visual here that we're gonna play. We have an endorsement from Mr. James Pond. Let's look at the screen there. Volume.
Somebody coming down a strong team. I'm so proud to hear Mr. Meade running again. I'm proud about that. So, and I'm so glad he coming down along. So, yeah, is one to fight to live up in there. Nobody else will do that. I promise I'm used to be the only one to get on the if you get on the council. To bring back. Get everything and to do some farming. Montserrat.
Mr. Pan, thank you. Mr. Pan, thank you. Mr. Howe, would you join me?
Yeah. Because nobody say how we go to the house to call them and ask them to come out to retirement. You know, I don't want nobody to say how me go by the house, how much times and beg them, please come back and take my this country. Because like me, I think you say, I am still not fallen short. We made a mistake. We went out there and asked you to do something and it was a mistake. So now we need an opportunity to correct that mistake.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. People, you've been waiting long enough. Like I said, for this man to run this country the way you want it to go, you have to vote party. You have to vote party. We need a strong base to take United Alliance to the top. And I'm depending on everyone here to be that base. Everybody here voting party. This party. Welcome. Welcome. The man of the hour. Out of retirement. Our next premier. Our next premier. Our next premier. Our next premier. Reuben, Timmy. The floor is yours.
United Alliance people, how you feel? Good.
Same again.
I know it's getting late towards the working day, so I'm not going to take long. So I'll just go through a few things. We have a government, and I've looked at the last two governments since my retirement, that they believe for them to talk to a foreign investor, they need the permission of the governor or the British government. There is absolutely nothing in the Constitution that says that. I listened the other day to Radio Montserrat and I saw something on Facebook where the governor is saying there's an investment group coming here and the governor will be the one the investment group will be liaising with. That's absolute rubbish. We from the Alliance are strong enough to stand up to anybody, to say to them, this is our country, and we are going to run our country on behalf of all of the people in this country.
Yes!
Now, can you imagine somebody, for example, working 35 years in government at the low level, and then at the end of the day, between their social welfare payment and their pension, they're getting less than what somebody on welfare is getting. That cannot be right. We will make sure that no one who has worked and is getting a pension will get less than what the welfare recipients are getting.
Yes, yes. Home run. Hitting over the boundary.
We're trying to build a population. We want children. Yet when you're giving tax concessions, you're not saying claim for your children or your dependent relatives. We're saying that we will put in a $1,500 a year on top of your tax claim for each child and each dependent relative. So that takes you up from the $18,000 which they're proposing now to a higher tax bracket before you start to pay taxes. Because you can claim for each child.
Vision! We cannot perish.
I spoke to some persons, at least I spoke to one Jamaican lady yesterday, and it almost brought tears to my eyes. She said her son is a diabetic, diabetic, and hypertensive. They went to the hospital to get medication, and they said you cannot get medication unless you pay for it. And the person was unemployed. We have to treat those from other islands the same as if they were Montserratians.
Yes.
As long as they're living and working here.
Are we about for you?
There will be no discrimination as to whether you're from one part of the Caribbean or the other. We're all one people, and we must be treated the same.
Same blood, red.
Why is it that if you're working for $2,000 and you work some overtime, all of a sudden your overtime payment is at 30%? We will change that. If your tax bracket is at 5%, your overtime will be at 5%. If your tax bracket is 10%, your overtime will be at 10%, and so on. So it gives you an opportunity to bring more money into your pocket, and you will spend more.
The best, you're the best. You are the best.
We have some very simple issues in Montserrat. Why is it that a program such as What's on Your Mind, which falls under the office of the Premier, has to go to Cabinet and worse yet go to the Legislative Assembly? It is the responsibility of the Minister with responsibility for Radio Montserrat to determine whether or not he wants What's on Your Mind on or off, and that is not a decision for anybody else. That is his personal decision. And I can say to you that we will bring back What's on Your Mind with a difference. In that, if we're talking education this week, the education minister has to be there. If you're talking health, the health minister has to be there. So that you get an immediate response to whatever issue it is that you want to discuss. There's also something else which we want to do innovatively. Ministers of government tend to be very busy. But every minister of government will work 4 days a week. On the 5th day, it's an open clinic. Wash your foot and come. They have to see you.
Yes.
You don't have to make any
Yes.
They have to say.
Yes.
And you bring your concern to them.
Yes.
Right. Additionally, you will see people like Bear and Arthur and of course Austin. If we not talk to you, talk to them, because you know that they are going to bring us up and make sure we respond to your concerns. That's a guarantee which we're giving.
You know something that you don't mean.
Now, I listened to the Deputy Premier. I really didn't want to call any names, but I listened to him on radio the other day, knocking me because I'm saying we are going after a private investor who will bring in the Twin Otter into Montserrat. We're not looking for no British government support on it. We will bring the Twin Otter here. We are already in discussions with a ferry operator where they say we will buy our own boat. It's a cargo passenger vessel taking 90 passengers, does 25 knots, get you to Antigua in less time than even the ferries you had here. That means that you can bring your cargo. You can also go to St. Martin. You can also go to Guadeloupe. You can go to other parts of the near islands here and do trading or do day trips. That does not require any support from the government of Montserrat. We are already speaking with investors. This is not pie in the sky. I have a 10 o'clock meeting tomorrow with a group of investors. And this is because we've been having these meetings. So as we're saying to them, once we get into government, we want to hit the ground running. And that is the way we operate. My understanding is that government in power now is saying the British government don't like it. I don't care. They don't have to be my friends.
No. We are your friends. We are your
But I
friends.
am simply saying to them and the governor, I am batting for Montserrat. Batting for Montserrat.
You score and run.
And
Then
while
can I
we
get
are
you?
having discussions, the discussions will be amicable. But I am not going to back down from anybody because their skin different to mine or they look different to me. We went to the same universities. So I don't afraid anyone. Okay? So we have to look at how we do things. But I'm challenging all of us here now. Are we willing to put in the extra effort and work to make Montserrat what we want it to be? We all have to do it. Now I look at a young teacher back there who tells me that she's retired. And they're saying we're short of teachers in Montserrat. Totally impossible. You cannot be short of teachers in Montserrat when you have retired persons who does not have to come back in and work full time. You come in and do part time, so it does not affect your pension. So you get your pension and salary because you're working part time. If you're working full time, then it's going to affect your pension and salary. So these are things which we also have to be looking at. Let me go into just a couple of things and I'm not going to go too long.
Go as long as you like. I'm not tired.
Why is it that the price of our fuel is so high? Does anybody know why the price of fuel is so high? It is not because of the taxes. We are bringing in fuel every 3 weeks to fill some little tanks. If we just simply invest in 2 big tanks, one for diesel, one for fuel, gasoline, and you have a 4-month supply of fuel. You buy when the price is low, and you have the stock there. So you replenish when the price goes down. That will give you a low price at the pump. And what we want to do as well is to set the price for 12 months so that you know if it's $16, $15 or $14, whatever it is, you can plan your business because you know what your fuel cost is.
Home run, home run. You go with the boundary, they can't catch you.
Now, another call the name, I see a man in the back of the room in a red t-shirt with a white towel. One of our local experts. We don't have respect for our experts. Our local experts, we have no respect for them. But they can go overseas to train people. Train people. And they're not recognized in Montserrat. We have to change that. The other thing which we want to do is that we have lots of Montserratians in the United States, Canada, the UK. We want to have an umbrella association in the UK, an umbrella association in the US and Canada. And when we want persons to come to provide a service, we go to those umbrella organizations and say, find me the person for a short-term contract. There's a doctor who I don't want to call his name. He has come here and he's brought a lot of specialist skills to Montserrat. And I'll use one example. There was an elderly gentleman who was going to Antigua to do prostate surgery. The charge was $30,000 for him to go to Antigua for prostate surgery. I said to him, I have some doctors visiting. Wait. He waited. The entire surgery cost him $3,000 by experts coming in from overseas to work with me. I said to that doctor, because he called me, he said, I'd given up on Montserrat. I hear you're coming back. I want to work with you. And I'm saying, I want to work with you too. You get the expertise and you bring them to Montserrat. And they normally come at their own cost. We provide them a house, a car, and we feed them. And they work half a day. The rest is holiday. And they have provided useful service to us over the years. And governments have come and discarded them. Dr. Buffon understand what I'm talking about, right? Yes. Your health is important to us. Yes.
Your wealth.
And if you are not healthy, you're costing the country money. Walking around, I've never seen so many persons in Montserrat with one leg. The number of amputations that are going on in Montserrat. Clearly, Dr. Buffon, we have to do some research to find out what is causing that. Let me just go on to one other one. You know I love my breadfruit, right? Yeah. We get heck up across your head. With some of my colleagues. Sorry, I didn't plan the point. We have so many breadfruit on Montserrat. We must be in a position to get the breadfruit, parboil them, vacuum seal the breadfruit. Vacuum seal means you take out all of the air, which means you just throw it in your suitcase. You don't have to freeze it. When you get home, you know what you have to do. We also want to do roast breadfruit. And do the same vacuum sealing. You know how much our breadfruit in England? 18 pounds, and when you reach home, you're not keeping the show. And we have breadfruit in Montserrat knocking down. Okay? So we have to get that going. The other one, and I think one of my colleagues touched on it, we have mangoes knocking dog in Montserrat. You can simply have a range of persons given the right support. Proper stainless steel table, a dryer, and a packaging machine. They can produce dried breadfruit. Dried breadfruit, never mind. Dried mango for export to both the US and the Canada and the UK. We don't have to put them in supermarkets. We have enough Montserratians up there. I took up a sample, and before I looked on, the whole set of them were gone. And then people started messaging me to say, well, you notice that Tesco selling mango too. So he said, so it's not a new idea. We can do it here. Yes. It means that some persons who are retired can in fact make an income by sitting at home. I'm going to wrap up because it's late. And we're going to have an opportunity to talk some more. The yachting industry, we have abandoned the yachting industry. Everybody's going for cruise ship. Cruise ships are nice for politicians. Because yes, we see the numbers. But the yachts are the ones that are bringing more money per passenger. So let's mix the cruise ships with the yachties. But put in the mooring buoys, as one of my colleagues mentioned, for us to be able to make sure that we attract them. And secondly, let them know they can get water here and they can get fuel here. Take the tax off the fuel, it doesn't matter. Because if they didn't come, you would not have sold it anyway. So take the tax off. When they come, they're going to spend more money than the taxes that you would have gotten anyway. And additionally, your toll persons who are doing the tolls will have toll groups to take out. Hikers will have persons to take for hiking. And they tend to stay here for more than 1 day. So your restaurants will make money, your supermarkets make money. And in closing, and this one is an absolute promise. We have a cricket field in Little Bit. For the past 8 years, they're struggling to build a cricket pitch. 8 years. So our youngsters have not been in a position to play cricket other than softball cricket. I am guaranteeing you, and you can hold me to my word, that within 6 months of being in office, that pitch will be ready to be used. And we will be including, we will bring on board T20 from the Caribbean, so that people are coming in, and as they come in, they spend money. We will also be saying to the football fraternity, you are no longer a bastard child, because the government has never even once, not even once, gone up to that 35-bedroom facility that has been built, where government has not even given them a nail, not even a nail free. And worse than that, your national team is your national team. The gear for the national team came to Montserrat. The Premier promised you will get them in duty free. You don't have to promise, it's there in an SRN already. We have to turn around and fly our own kits for your national teams to Antigua, where Antigua is storing them first, free of cost, no charges. And your own national team, you can't bring your kids here without paying duty on that. Absolute rubbish. In closing, I tend to say in closing several times a day. Justin Castle, my good friend. Justin Castle, my good friend. Let's just leave it at that. He had a funeral here. A prime minister came from Antigua for that funeral. Did you think he came here just to sit in the congregation and look pretty? No. He clearly came here hoping to say something. And I was amazed when the Premier went up and did not even say to his colleague, Gaston, come. When my turn came, I said, Gaston, come. Okay?
I was there, it's true. I was there.
What does this say to you? It says that he does not even have a relationship.
Poor leadership.
Does not even have a relationship with your next door neighbor who is so important to you for traveling. So for example, the additional $20 US that you have to pay on your ticket. Imagine. If you think the 519 for one way ticket out there is expensive, add $20 US more to it. If he had a relationship with the Prime Minister of Antigua, he would have said, yo, let me have a chat now, man. Nobody kill my people. And these are things which we have to be working on, where the team, the United Alliance team, every one of them can represent. I am already seeking to group them to take over from me. So, if you'll notice on some of the radio programs, one of them is leading, then we're doing house to house, another one is leading, and so forth and so forth. How to use the mic, how to talk without getting hit with a pin. That's who we are. So how are you voting when election time comes? So let me ask you another question. Have you ever seen a government in power start a campaign and don't even say when elections are going to be held? Never. Never. Secondly, I want you to look at where their billboards are close to ours. Imagine they want to run a country But they have to lean up their billboards against us. We are the first team to come out with a manifesto. We were the first team to have a function like this, except for the weather. They are following us.
Yes.
So what does that say? United Alliance?
Yes.
United Alliance? Whenever they call the vote, whenever they call the election, whenever, we are more than ready. And this will be the team who you will vote for. You will hold them responsible because you are saying to them, you came here and promised us that you're going to do certain things. And you can use they and the others to ensure that they do what they have to do. Hit me up with this song, man.
Yes. Give me a ball leader. Listen, you have listened to them, and I isolate 3 questions, quickly. Come, ask them anything. 3 questions, no more than that. 3 questions, anybody? 3 questions. All right, no questions. So then you're satisfied with what you're hearing. So we're gonna give the thank you.
Let me say thank you to those persons, especially those online. I think that you are reminiscing like everything. Thank you for joining us and for staying with us throughout the whole program. And for those who came out tonight, thank you. And remember, this election you're voting the United Alliance all in.
And remember the new tune coming. Never again.